What's up, YouTube? It is your girl JB back with my official 1 month post-op video. So just for starters, let me give you the stats. Before surgery, height weight was 296.7. Day of surgery weight was 289.1. And weight today, officially 1 month post-surgery, is 272 pounds, 272.3. So in total from my highest weight, I'm down about 24 pounds. In total from my surgery weight, I'm down about 15 pounds. So I would consider myself to be a slow loser, but as you know, if you're watching this channel, I have PCOS and I kind of expected to be a bit of a slow loser just because of the way that my body likes to fight me on weight loss. Now let's hop into some other updates. One thing I wanted to update was that initially after surgery, my doctor gave me take-home shots of B12, the injections. This is what they look like. And no needles, but this is what they gave me. And thankfully, I went back to my doctor at 1 month, so I didn't have a 1 week follow-up visit, which I was really upset about, but I did have a 1 month follow-up. And that's when I actually learned that since I'm taking B12, the vitamin, the one that dissolves under your tongue, you actually don't need to take the shots if you're taking B12 as long as you're waiting 2 hours after or before a multivitamin to take the B12, because there's something about it that counteracts. So B12, this is the one I have, natural vitamin B12, and it is like dissolvable. Like, it actually doesn't taste horrible for a vitamin, and I've been, ever since my doctor's appointment, I've been making sure I take it 2 hours after my first multivitamin. Some other updates a month after surgery. I have not gone back to work yet. I still actually get very lightheaded and very dizzy doing simple things. Like today, it was standing in line, walking around outside. Now, mind you, it is 100 plus where I am in Arizona. It gets very, very hot. It's usually like 110 plus, so it was a very hot day. But yeah, I got really like lightheaded and faint kind of while standing in line, and that keeps happening. Like whether I'm getting out of the shower or if I'm, just on a walk for too long or outside for too long, I get really dizzy, feel really faint, have to go sit down or drink some water. And it's actually getting pretty frustrating because I have to do it at times that what I consider to be inconvenient, like even at my doctor's appointment, I was standing in line and I had gotten to a point where I had been standing so long that I was just like kind of like exhausted. When I brought it up to my doctor, he was like, maybe it's hypoglycemia. I'm going to send you to get some more tests, blah, blah, blah. So kind of en route with that, waiting to get more information about the test. But a little nervous, but whatever. Hopefully everything will be okay. As far as protein intake is concerned, I have been getting my protein in, but it is really hard. So the only tip that I would say for sure is if you're still in this like liquid phase, like I'm 4 weeks out now, but I'm still somewhere between blended and soft food. Like I eat Jell-O often, I still eat sugar-free popsicles often, and I'm still opting for soup whenever I can. Literally just had soup today when I went out with my friend. But on the other side of that, I can talk more without getting winded as quickly. I'm recovering smoothly, I would say. I'm not as lethargic as I was when surgery was done. I'm able to kind of stay up a little bit longer. I have a little bit more energy to do things. My diet has been mostly ground chicken or ground turkey. I've been making like Mexican style bowls, so some Mexican rice, avocado, sour cream, cheese, and like I'll make a tiny bowl. Literally I'll weigh out 3 ounces, so that's kind of how I know that's my limit. I'm somewhere between 3 ounces and 4 ounces as far as getting full. Another thing that I have often not often, let me not say that, but when I have a craving for it, I will get a lettuce wrap burger. Surprisingly, they're not as heavy as you'd imagine. I've finished a whole one after VSG. The burger itself is only about 3 ounces of food when it's lettuce wrapped. So I've gotten a lettuce wrap burger before. I have gotten a lettuce wrap sandwich from Jimmy John's. I have right now currently buffalo dip from Trader Joe's, and right now I'm using either my protein chips, because Quest has a brand of protein chips that are actually pretty good. So I'll use the protein chips as, the chip, and I'll use that for the buffalo dip. or I will use, right now I'm also doing like crackers. So I've just started transitioning into the cracker world. I have not had any type of carb or bread before this week, so it's been fun so far. Also, I've been buying a lot of Quest protein snacks. Quest actually has some really good options. If you read the pack, they're actually high in all of the right things. I'll actually show you. This is my favorite. This is the Quest cookie. And like in your nutritional classes, they teach you how to read the back of the pack. So I'm just gonna show you what that looks like without even like opening the cookie all the way. Okay, so this is what's special about Quest. If you take a look at the things that have high percentages, their fiber is the highest. So it has 32 grams of fiber, or I'm sorry, 32% fiber. That's kind of what they taught us to read the fiber count that way. So 32% fiber, has over 9 grams of fiber. And then protein, it has 15 grams of protein right there at the bottom. So that protein makes up for 30% of the cookie. This specific one is a little high in saturated fat. It's got 50% of that. So that is definitely something to be mindful of, but not all of them are created equal. I would say the snickerdoodle one's also pretty good, not just the chocolate chip. And this one, same MO on the back. These ones are really good. I still would say be careful and mindful not to overdo it on the protein snacks, because if you eat these late at night, it might just sit in your stomach. But I found it being another way that I can kind of get in some treats that I like without having too many calories, or actually getting in treats I like while working towards my protein goal. That's a better way to say it. So I've been using these as little cheats to make my protein. Another thing that I will say is that if you can start your day with a protein shake, do so, because it's really hard to get your protein if you start really late in the day. It's like playing a game of catch up. So right when I wake up, I have a protein shake, or I have half the protein shake to say at least I get 15 grams of that. For snacks, I'm doing things like cucumbers and cheese cubes, or even cheese sticks, like mozzarella sticks, but low fat. So that's been really helpful. I keep sugar-free pudding, I keep sugar-free Jell-O, and sugar-free popsicles. That's basically my go-to right now. And then, like I said, I'm in between ground meats. I haven't tried to explore. In the month since surgery, I have tried to eat chicken wings once, and it was a disaster. And I literally couldn't finish it. I spit it out. But I will say this: I follow the rules for the most part, all the way through and through, not ODing on sugar. I haven't had soda, I haven't had liquor. I've been pretty stuck to the rules, which is great. Which is great because I have seen progress. But I'm saying that to say that I haven't really experienced too many issues with throwing up. I know a lot of girls mention after surgery they throw up a lot, or they get sick a lot, and you know, I have been fortunate in a way that I monitor what I eat. I'm not doing too much sweets. I'm not drinking sugars. All my juices are sugar-free or water. I do diet tea from time to time, but yeah, same idea. I'm not ODing on sugar. I did have one episode of dumping syndrome because I had some chocolate-covered strawberries. They were white chocolate and milk chocolate covered. I had about 3 of them. They were the true fruit bag, and I got really sick. I had 3 of those, and then I had a cup of rice pudding or arroz con leche, and let's just say that it didn't go well. And I did have like dumping syndrome, but it wasn't immediate. First, I kind of felt like nauseous. Then I laid down, and then I tried to get my energy to kind of like chill out. So right, with dumping syndrome, I have noticed that if I eat something that's too sugary or too sweet, it only happened once, but I have to lay down. I'll feel a little nauseous, and then after a couple hours, I'll get diarrhea. I haven't experienced anything immediate like other girls have. But for me, I noticed that like if I have too much sweets, I do have to lay down and rest, and I don't feel great afterwards. But no throwing up, and it's only happened one time, and again, that was my fault for having chocolate and rice pudding in the same day. And yeah, it just wasn't well thought out. It wasn't a well thought out day. I should have been thinking more about protein that day anyways. So those are the updates so far. Last thing I wanted to update you guys on is the Incisions 1-month post-op. So my surgery was June 24th. Today is July 25th. And I'll just show you briefly what the incisions look like at this point. Last time you saw them, I had a lot of bandages on them, so they didn't look great. But now they're a little bit better, definitely more healed. This is the top one. I had another little one right here, which you can still see. I have one right here. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. One right here, 4. And then of course the one in my belly button, which is kind of doing its own thing. Surprisingly, the belly button incision actually still hurts. I still feel like pain from that one often. Like, and when I say pain, I mean like I'll feel it like cramping, or it'll kind of feel sensitive sometimes, almost like I have a bruise. Just right there in my belly button. So it's not the best, not the most fun, but it is what it is. Other than that, everything else has been pretty normal. I've been able to sleep comfortably. I've been hungry, and that's something that my doctor kind of made it sound like it's a bad thing. I actually get really hungry almost every 2 hours, like on the dot. Like after I eat something, it's like everything's happening quickly and I'm like hungry again. So I thought that was super weird, but some of my friends were like, oh, is your metabolism working? But my doctor, when I told him that, all he said was, oh no. And I was like, I should be hungry. And he was like, no. And I thought that was weird. So that was weird because he didn't elaborate. He didn't say I'm doing something wrong. He just said you should not be hungry that often. Whatever. I'm still meeting most of my protein goals on a daily basis, so I'm not going to stress about it. But definitely still worried about the lightheadedness, but I will do a follow-up appointment for that and give you more information on that. As far as sizes go, I haven't really dropped too much. I think that after I had gotten to a size 20, I kind of stopped buying clothes, and now all the clothes that I have are starting to fit better or fit again, so I haven't really shopped too much. These are my shorts from last summer, so I'm happy to be back in them. For a minute, I thought I wasn't going to be back in them, but I'm super happy that they fit again, because at a certain point they were not buttoning, they were not fitting, and I could not wear them out. So yeah, that's this little update I have for you guys so far at 1 month post-op. I'll probably check back in when I start eating regular foods again, but I'm also very scared to eat regular foods again because girls get very sick. So yeah, we'll see. They do say it takes about 3 months for your stomach to heal before you can even think or consider liquor. I did talk to a couple other VSG girls who started drinking after 3 weeks. I am not interested. I am gonna wait the 3 months as they said. I do not smoke tobacco, but I do smoke marijuana. And I did pick that back up 15 days after surgery, but I still would say lightly. It's like a sparingly thing now, not an everyday thing like it was before surgery. And I would still recommend, if that's something you do, to not do it for 3 months. Like I would still say to wait, but talk to some other VSG girls who said that they got the clearance from their doctor. As long as they didn't smoke 30 days before surgery and waited at least 10 days after surgery, they were okay to go back to smoking, but tobacco was off limits forever. So yeah, that's basically where I stand now, 272. Also, one thing I will suggest for all the girlies out there that are scale happy and check the scale often, when you start this journey, take your measurements, because a lot of days the scale is not going to move. But you'll look in the mirror and you'll see like, I look smaller, or you'll take some before and after pictures and compare, and you'll be like, I'm visibly smaller, but the scale hasn't moved in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's important to have those numbers, because there were 2 weeks, so I'm only 4 weeks out, but on week 2, and between week 2, 3, and 4, I bounced back up and down between 276 to 274 to 275 to 273 to 274 to 272. It was a constant movement of the scale going up and down, and I was driving myself crazy. But one thing I do is I have my waist measurements. I have measurements of everything. Like when I started this process, it was like measure everything from neck to arms to legs, calves, waist, belly, upper belly, everything. I measured everything individually. And when I get really discouraged, I just check the measurements of my waist, because when I started this, my waist was 47 inches and right now it's 41. So I'm really happy to say that, you know, the progress is happening. It is totally visible. Even when the scale is moving in slow motion, it's still moving. And if I only lost 20 pounds in the first month, and I only lose 20 pounds next month, and then 20 pounds the following month, I'll still be down 60 pounds in 3 months, you know? So don't get too discouraged by the scale not moving how you see other people move. Like, I mean, some of these girls, they have, oh, I lost 17 pounds in the first week, but then there's other factors to consider. Like maybe their doctor had a diet before they started. My doctor didn't require a liquid diet before I started surgery, before I got the surgery. I literally went from eating to don't eat anything after this time and come in for surgery tomorrow, and didn't have any complications. So every surgeon is different. But you know, when you compare your journey and you don't know the backstory of it, it can really be discouraging, because some girls had the liquid diet and then they come out after surgery and, oh, I've lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks. And it's like, what? Why have I only lost 15, or why have I only lost 20? So you just have to remember those key things, that your journey is your own. It's not like anyone else's. And if you're sad about it, talk out loud. You know, you might have a friend, you might have a circle, you might have some family members that are there to encourage you and support you in ways that you don't know because you've never tried. So, you know, I've done a couple things now where if I'm feeling sad that I can't finish my plate, I'll say out loud, I'm sad that I can't finish my plate. It's really good. And that's me acknowledging, one, that I'm full. So I'm telling myself, you're full, you don't need to keep eating. And two, acknowledging that I actually feel sad that I can't continue eating. It's good to acknowledge those feelings, because a lot of us are in this situation where we're getting surgery because of health reasons, but also some of us have those bad eating disorders, like, you know, binge eating, or, you know, when you starve yourself all day, or you eat one meal a week and your body's in starvation mode and constantly going back and forth between being starved or overfed. You know, it's just really important that you express your emotions and don't let that get bottled up, because it will delay you on your journey. I believe if you keep those emotions inside and you go hard on yourself, it'll really make you feel like you're far step back, versus if you were just honest, open, transparent, and you can move forward and move freely. So it's a journey. It might be long. I expected this, but we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it through to the end. And here I am, 1 month post-op and 24 pounds down. Yay! I'll see you guys next month, or maybe in 2 weeks when I start to transition into real foods. Then I can give you some more content on what I'm actually eating, maybe even include some pictures. So stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being subscribed. I love it here. That's all. Bye, guys.